Hello, welcome back to my channel, Vegan-Nette Life. Just wanted to share with you this evening to talk around some tips on how to budget and save with regards to your shopping for a vegan or plant-based diet. A lot of times the reason that, or the excuse I call it, that people give for not eating a vegan diet or plant-based diet is that it's too expensive. And I just find it kind of hilarious in a way, in the sense that those that are eating the standard American diet, your expense is usually in the meat that you're purchasing. But you don't look at that as being an expensive lifestyle or a way that you eat, because that's just what we're used to. Now, of course, everything is going up. Prices are sky high at the grocery store. So I'm not dismissing that fact. I'm just speaking in general. Usually you're going out to eat. You find money to do the things that you enjoy doing or want to do. So basically, my point in saying this is that it is a way to eat this way, and you're not spending a, astronomical amount of money that you would normally spend on groceries. In my opinion, it would be less. This lifestyle, you're basically spending your money on produce, plants. You just shop on sale. You make stretch meals just like you would normally. So you're not having the same expense. Also, by eating a vegan or plant-based diet, you're healthier. You're taking better care of yourself. So you're not having to go to a lot of doctor's appointments, purchase medication, which is very expensive. So that is the main goal with trying to transition to this way of eating, because it's better for your health, number one. And once you get your health in a better place, then everything else follows after that. You're not spending money on prescriptions, going to the doctor. As I said, spending money on meat or flesh items. I threw in flesh because that would go into your seafood, as far as your fish and shrimp and things like that. So I just wanted to come to you and just share some things that I do, some tips to help you save where you can, because in general, this would just work with any basically shopping or budgeting around your food expense, whether you choose to do a vegan plant-based diet or, continue to maintain your regular standard American diet. So I'm just going to share some tips with you that I do. This is my budget book. It's the Happy Planner. I do budget in general. I am a budgeter. I need to know where every penny of my money is going in my paycheck, and any monies that are coming into the household where my husband and I are sharing bills and expenses. I need to make sure each dollar has been given a job to do. So I do budget every month. So I can kind of plan in advance what I need to do, anything that's going to be coming up outside of the ordinary. So I will probably about the middle of March, probably next week, go ahead and do my budget for April. I don't wait until the month gets here. I usually do my budget at least 2 weeks in advance before that month is here. So I kind of already know what that month is going to look like. If something's odd or unusual coming up that particular month, I can already budget for that. I can already know I need to allocate money for that. If something's coming down the road in the next couple of months, I can go ahead and start preparing with setting money aside for that particular item. And that just helps me feel more comfortable in knowing how my month is going to look. So if life happens, something unexpected come up, I'm able to kind of maneuver it a little bit better because I have a plan mapped out. And that is what I would stress in general. Have a plan for what you're looking to do, whether it's budgeting your finances, grocery shopping, things that you have to take care of with the kids or the household. Have a plan for those things that need to take place, and it just alleviates a lot of stress. You already kind of know how everything is going to go, and trust me, it's just easier. You're not concerned with, just flying off the cuff, and then before the month is gone, no money is there, but you're still needing, for example, to buy groceries. So you want to budget and allocate money for your grocery expense. Now, in my household, I'm the only one that is vegan. My husband is not vegan, so we choose to purchase our groceries individually, ourselves. So when I go to the grocery store and I'm doing my budget, that's strictly for my meals and what I will be eating. He purchased what he needs for his meals. With the way that he works, he works a full and a part-time job. So a lot of times he's getting convenience meals as far as frozen dinners or something that he can pick up if he's going to his part-time job on a particular day. So a lot of times he's eating out, so to speak, or he may have frozen meals that he's taking for lunch, but I don't do a lot of actual cooking for him. Is strictly just his preference of what is convenient for him around that. But most definitely, if he wants a meal or wants something cooked to take during the week, I'm here for it. I cook him what he's always eaten. Whatever his meal is that he wants, I have no problem cooking that. As I said, I do not believe on imposing what I choose to do far as my lifestyle of being vegan, of imposing that on him. He's well aware of my lifestyle. That's just not something for him. Yes, he has eaten some things that I've made for myself personally. It is some things that he likes, but in general, that is a lifestyle that he chooses not to partake in, and I respect that. So, we just, that's just how we maneuver our household of having someone that is vegan versus someone that's not. So that's just a tip of maybe an option in your household. It just kind of depends on, if it's just the two of you as adults. If you've got children, that's another whole category, so to speak. You may have to just, in that case, I would look that you would just be shopping for the household as a whole. It wouldn't be a separation of who's purchasing their own in that example. But, if I had younger children or, others in the household that I was preparing meals for on a regular, then that would be different. But that is not our situation. We both have grown adult children. We do not have children in our household. So therefore, it's more convenient and it's easier for us to do that. But, you have to customize and personalize that process that works best for your household. So I'm just going to cover a few things that I do each month to kind of keep up with what I have on hand, what I actually need to buy, and that helps keep down costs as well as waste. So by not having a lot of waste, that also is an additional savings right there for you. So what I did last night, I tried to do it at the beginning of the month, the first weekend of the month, but sometimes I might fall a little bit behind. So I was able to go in last night. I just came in the kitchen and did my food inventory for the month of March. I do this every month to make a list of what I have on hand in my cabinets, what I have in the fridge, what I have in the freezer. I make a list of those things. And then that just kind of lets me know what I have that I need to be mindful to use or make a recipe with, or not to over purchase something that I already have on hand. So this is just a glance at what that looks like of how I do that each month. So this is just a list, and I had a few items on the back, but it lets me know what I have on hand. So I make sure that that's done the beginning of the month. Because keep in mind, during the rest of the month, I'm just going to be adding the bare minimum because I want to work on making sure I'm reducing this list of items that needs to be utilized. So that's the purpose of doing that, to know what I have on hand. Now, the next thing that I do, usually on Wednesdays, that's the day that all of your grocery ads come out. I have an app on my phone for each grocery store that I utilize, and I do not shop one grocery store. I usually shop Aldi, Lidl, Sprouts, sometimes Wegmans, sometimes Publix, but not on a regular. If I had to say regular stores, it's going to always usually be Aldi, Lidl, and Sprouts. I go to Whole Foods once in a while, but I've just gotten used to going to Sprouts because it's in line with the Lidl and Aldi that I go to if I'm needing to go to Sprouts. And it's just based on where they're located. They're right on the same street. I'm not going out the way in that sense. So this weekend coming up, I will be shopping Wegmans, Sprouts, Aldi, and Lidl. 4 grocery stores, yes. They're on the same street. It's just one is on one end, and I'm going to end up going down to the far end for the last store, get on 540, and, get on back home. So it's not out the way for me in the way that I'm shopping. My stores are right in the same little area. I'm not going completely out the way to go to one store particularly. Now, if I need to, I will. If it's something particular I need, I will. But just where they're located at, even with Whole Foods, I can shop right in the same area and hit the stores of what I need and get home and then burn any unnecessary gas, I guess you would say. So what I do on Wednesdays, I usually look on the app and see what items are on sale. Usually your main cost-saving items is going to be on that first main page of the ad. That's going to be, I think they call them loss leaders, but that's going to be your main items that are on sale. Now, for example, with Aldi, I usually check the category for produce, frozen, chilled, and dry. And I just look just to see if it's anything I can utilize outside of produce, but I'm mainly looking for the produce first and foremost. That's the first category. I just check the frozen sometimes to see if they've got frozen fruit on sale, like for my smoothies, or something in the dry goods. That's a good buy. But most of the time I'm not usually finding a lot. I'm usually just getting produce from Aldi the majority of the time. So this particular week, I saw that they had the organic blueberries, the 6-ounce container for $2.99. That was the only thing I saw there that I needed to get, because as I state, I try to buy organic the majority of the time as much as possible. Do I buy things sometimes that are not organic? I do, mainly sometimes because of maybe the sale that's on the item. But I would say 90%, 80 to 90% of what I eat is going to be organic. I primarily buy organic. But I do try to utilize the organic items that are on sale. So that's the main thing on that. So Lidl, for example, had cauliflower this week for $1.99 a head, which is a great price. No, it's not organic, but I love cauliflower. It's a great price, so I'm getting the cauliflower. And I also like to get the organic Roma tomatoes from Lidl. They're usually $2.79 a bag. And in the bag, I usually get anywhere from 5 to 7 because it's weighed by the pound in the bag, not the number of actual tomatoes. So I always look, if I'm getting something like Roma tomatoes in the example, or fruit, usually the bags is by weight. So I'm going to count the items and make sure that I find a bag that, per se, like with the Roma tomatoes, I found a bag today that had 7 Roma tomatoes in there. I think the bag I got last week only had 5. I'm going to get the 7. It's just that some of those tomatoes in this week's bag was a little smaller than the ones that were in the bag I got last week, but they both were the same weight. So the bags are put together by weight. So you may get more items in one bag than another. So just take the time just to kind of go through a few to see if you can get a couple of extra pieces in the bag than just grabbing one. So that's one way to save in that example of just counting the number of items, like apples or oranges. Count, because you may get that 1 or 2 extra apples or that 1 extra orange. Every little bit helps when you're saving. I'm not concerned about the size of the apples when I'm getting a bag of apples. So if I've got some that's got a couple of extra apples, because the apples are a little smaller in size compared to another bag, I'm going to get the one with the extra apples in it. It's not that deep that I've got to have, a certain size apple on that. So that's an example of the only things I'm getting at those 2 stores for this week. Now, my main shopping is going to be heavier this week than last week because I did purposely run everything low. As I always say, I try my best to run things kind of out or almost out when it comes to things that I have in the fridge and the freezer. The freezer, of course, is going to keep a lot longer, but I still like to have those items to make sure they're in rotation, they're in circulation. I don't like a lot of stuff piling up. I will buy larger sizes of certain things like I get at BJ's, but for the most part, that's fine. I'm looking for that to last for a little while longer but everything else I try to keep in rotation. So as I was saying, the majority of my items are going to be from Sprouts this week, and I have to go to Wegmans. I haven't been to Wegmans in a minute, but I was just in a mood for some mushrooms, and I haven't had them in a while in the sense of the lion's mane mushrooms and the blue oyster mushrooms. I want to go to Wegmans to get those. I'm going to also get, they have the sliced king oyster mushrooms, as well as the maitake, I think is how you pronounce it, mushrooms. So it's about 4 different types of mushrooms I want to get from there. So I'm going there specifically to get those items, as well as I saw on the app that they also have the organic red onions on sale. So I will be going there to get those as well. So I only have about 5 things to get from Wegmans. And as I said, it's not out the way. Wegmans I'm gonna go to first on this end, and then as I go down that same street, it's a very long street. It's one of the main ones here in Raleigh. But once I go to Wegmans, I'm going to leave out and stop right down there at Aldi, go down a little ways. Lidl's right there. Go out the end of that street is where the Sprouts is. Get right back on my highway that I need to get home. And that's it. So it's not out the way. So I will be going to Wegmans to get those items. And then the majority of my items will be coming from Sprouts. They have everything I'll be getting at Sprouts is going to be organic. They have some good sales going on what I need or the price point of what I wanted to get. So I'll be getting some organic mandarins, some soy-free tofu, some beets, apples, oranges, honey nut squash, some greens, kale, jackfruit, Napa cabbage, just a lot of green vegetables, because I'm going to do some juicing this week coming up. I haven't done that in a while. So my shopping list for Sprouts is going to be a little heavier than the others, but it's fine. I'm still within my budget with a cushion that will be left to carry me for the rest of the month. I really shouldn't need anything else more than likely for the rest of the month. But just in case I do have a cushion there to get a few things here or there. But I usually have one weekend where I'm getting like a very heavy shopping done compared to what I normally do each week. Outside of that, each week will be looking at what I purchased this weekend and just adding to it if I need to. Sometimes I have a week I don't need to get anything. Because keep in mind, I'm the only one that's eating the things that I'm purchasing. So this is my heavy shopping weekend here. So altogether, between those 4 stores, I should only be spending $94. Okay, so in my mind, $100, I should not be going over that, just in case it's something extra that I do want to get, that maybe I just didn't notate at that time. I do have a little bit of a wiggle room, but I'm not going to do a lot with that. But those are just some tips on how you can minimize and maximize what you're purchasing, while saving money and, you know, being able to stretch your dollar with that. And I will share with you any upcoming recipes outside of what I'll be making from there. But tonight was just really to cover with you just some tips to help with the shopping, how to save money on that, and understand that this lifestyle is not expensive. So kind of get that image, I guess you would say, or perception out of your mind, and you just shop on sale. If you can't buy a lot of organic items, just get the traditional items that are on sale, and that's what you're going to make your meals from. So that's just a suggestion. If you have a specific dish you want or a recipe you want to try, then you buy those ingredients and items that you need for that. And yeah, you might spend a little bit on that, but again, that's something you would budget and prepare for, and make sure that the items you're getting for the recipe will be something that you can continue to use in other dishes as well. It's not just for that one item, but of course, unless you just choose to do that. So I hope these tips were helpful for you. And leave in the comments any suggestions that you utilize to help save money or stretch meals that can help, with how you having to spend and shop around your food items. So hopefully you enjoyed this channel. Remember to keep focused on your journey, not a destination. This is not an end. This is a lifestyle. So focus on the journey, not a destination. And thank you so much for watching my video tonight. If you haven't subscribed, please feel free to do so. Click like, comment, and share. And thank you. Have a good evening. Bye.